is Veronica Sadah, the firstborn of my parents, and I have a kid sister called Christian Sadah. I grew up in this community, went to school from class 1 all the way to Form 3 when I took the common entrance and passed. Before going to the secondary school, I was very sportive, athletic, doing all sorts of sporting activities and games. And I was attracted to a school in the Volta region called KJB Secondary School because they were always topping in netball playing. Though my mother wanted me to go to Mauli, I told her I wanted to be far away, be independent, and play my netball. So she allowed it, and fortunately, I was invited to the school to start Form 1. I went through KJB Secondary School for my O-level and went to Tema Secondary School for my A-level. Just as we were about to write our exams, there was an advert in Ghana Customs for those with O-level certificates to be taken as preventive officers. I applied and I was taken. And for the first time, I was taken to Aflau border as a preventive customs officer. At that time, the results also came, and I spent 1 year at Aflau as a junior custom officer and left for the University of Ghana, Legon. And I did political science for 3 years, and I came back to customs as assistant collector. And I worked with customs for additional 33 years, rose to the rank to become the Deputy Commissioner Operations, next to the Commissioner. And I retired in 2010, October, after having served or reached my voluntary age of 60 years. But before then, I had a dream of setting up a school, which we'll talk about later. Yeah, the second part of my story is about a dream that I had about establishing a school. And that was way back in the 80s when I knew we had a property, big property, up where it was all farming activities. Then I realized it's been taken up by some other family. So I approached one of the elders to tell him about what I have heard and to know the extent of the property that we had as a family. And when I'm talking of the family, it's not my mother, my father, and my sister, but the extended family in Africa belong to our uncles, our grandfathers, and all that. So I just wanted to have an idea of the extent of that property. So he willingly agreed and took me there. And we went over the boundaries, and I knew it was a vast land. And if you are not careful, it might be taken by others. So on my way back, I had this vision. What can we do with this property? And the whole night, couldn't sleep. And it just dawned on me that if I have a school, a big school, that will be enough for it. So later I talked to my mom about it, that this is what I want to do when I retire as an officer. And he said, wow, excellent idea. And my mother, though she didn't have any formal education, was so much interested in seeing children going to school. And I am no exception. I was so pampered. Anything I asked for, she provided just to encourage me to go to school. And she was worried a bit because she didn't have a male son, only two of us. And she also wanted to be recognized in the society as having a child who has attained the skies. So when I told her, she was supportive. And she said, I like your idea, your dream. I will support it 100%. But I will not like you to locate the school on that property. And I asked why. He said, no. She feared for my life, and I should stay away from that property. But she will look for a better place for me. I said, no problem. And, you know, her joy is that I became the first female graduate of the entire Agotime community. And she's so proud of me that anything I asked for, she was willing to do it. So I was in Accra one day when she called me that she has found a place for me to establish my school. So fine, we did the payments and had some kind of documentation on it. And that was for a period. I never set foot on the land. I was busy in Accra doing my public work. Then in the late 20s, I decided to visit and see how the place looked like. And it was like I was entering a foreign land. There were guards here who will not allow me to enter my own property. I told them, no, I am a woman of peace. We will settle it. And I went to the chief and told him my peace of mind. I bought the place for a school to serve the community. And I would have bought the land in Accra to set up a school where I'll make profits. Much profit. But this is the community that I came out from, and I've been successful, and I want to give back to the community what they have made me. So whatever it is, I'll buy the property again from them at a reduced price. Because in this community, their children will be better off. Because even in town, there are other schools. But here, the children will benefit more. So we agreed, and I paid them again. And in 2008, I came with some money to start the infrastructure for the school, because 2008, I was getting close to my retirement in 2010. So I wanted to start building the infrastructure. When I came, I was advised to put up a well so that the water from the well can serve in building. Well, I agreed to it, and the first money that I saved and brought was used to put up the well. And when we get there, I'll show you the well. And I was run down, didn't have any other money. So I had to go back to Accra to start serving again. So in 2009, we actually started with the first 3 classrooms, put up the substructure, took a consultant, and we continued. And from there, loans, my savings, and all that had to go into it. We had the second substructure, but in January 2010, I made sure we had the first 3 classrooms ready for me to start the school. So in August, I came over, and then we started with the ICT, which is the computer lab, and had some students from the locality, those who have left JHS, which is junior high school, rallied them around, and we started with the computer class. And within 6 months, we had the first batch graduating, and September was the launch of the school to begin on the 9th of September 2010. And we started with nursery, KG, and P1, primary 1. We had only 2 teachers, Yaira and Matthias, the head teacher, and myself. And we had to start. I was also teaching, carrying the children, the babies that were crying at my back, feeding them. And at the same time, we'll go to the kitchen with my sister Christiana to cook for the little kids, come back and serve them with the food. Some we spoon-fed them. And it was all joy. You know, I couldn't believe what I was doing. From a customs officer career to become educationist, trying to train children was, though there was a big shift, but it was full of joy. And I was wondering if I hadn't set up the school. It means I have to sit in the house and be watching telly. Is that what I want? No. I said no to myself. I wanted to be remembered for something when I leave this earth, bringing children up to become somebody in the future. Yes, and it's all joy. And our vision is to bridge, the knowledge gap between the urban cities, where education is way up, with private schools teaching them compared to the public sector. And here you realize, apart from the public schools, there aren't many private schools. And the private schools, there's much supervision, discipline, and the children lack that. And whilst I was working, anytime I came home, there was this deterioration. I see things, education deteriorating, young girls getting pregnant, not going to school. I said, no, I have to come back and help. And the desire to retire early and come back to help was more pressing. Yes, so I didn't waste any time at all to spend a few months or years in the house resting before starting to help them. So immediately I retired in October 2010, as I said, and September 2011 we had started the school, and the children coming. And one thing that happened, which I knew it was by God's divine intervention, was that there was a school close by which had to close down. So all the kids from nursery, crèche, to P, to GHS were all stranded. They didn't know what to do. And I said, oh, what is this? So the parents came and saw me. He said, if we could extend it to the JHS. I said, I am not ready with infrastructure, so I could not take all. The best I could do for them is to take up to P3. because my initial plan was nursery, KG, and then P1. That was the classroom I had ready. But because of the pressure they put on me, I said, let me go to P3. But I'll not go further than that. So I had to take them on. And I had not prepared for that. But God being so good, we looked for some teachers, and I had to use my pension money to start paying the teachers. And there are times I wonder whether I could make it, because the school fee, we started with 20 cedis, which was way below $10 or $9 then. And how to pay the teachers was a big problem. But I said, I told myself, God will provide. And ever since, He's been providing. And I'm so grateful to Him. And teachers came, we had to, I tell them, this is a family. If you are a teacher and you come, you have to be part of the family. The do's and the don'ts, so that we will train the kids to become good citizens in future, is what I want. It's not the profits, it's not the money I want to make now, but to help the community so that they can also remember me when I die. So we have the vision, as I said, to bridge the knowledge gap, train the youth, and develop skills so that they can be good for the job market. I want everybody who leaves this place after school to have something doing. If you are academically good, you continue to the university. If you are not, we will establish vocational school here to train them. We have the computers to train them so that you can be computer guru. And we intend having a clinical nursing or a community nursing, so that all of them will have something, or most of them will have something doing when they leave this place. So our motto is creativity and self-reliance. You create, and you should be on your own in future. And that is why we are on. We train the children to do their own sweeping. We don't hire people to come and sweep and clean the compound for them. You come, you sweep, you fetch water, you take care of everything. We water even the trees and the plants that we have around, so that they know how to, work with their hands. Yes, this is where we are, and this is what we are doing in this community.
Bravo.
Well, the school is about 4 years now, and we have a lot of challenges. And as I have said, it is to develop skills. So we need a lot of infrastructure. At the moment, I've been able to do a lot, and with the help of Church of Latter-day Saints, they've also come in to assist. We always, like Oliver Twist, are asking for more, because we want the school to be a model school. You come here and you don't want to take your child anywhere. So with the infrastructure that we have a complete layout where it's all 3 stories. The block A, 3 stories, block B, 3 stories, the assembly block here, the administration block where we are, it's also 2 stories. The block A, block B will be the primary classrooms. In case we have 2 streams, we'll have 18 classrooms to take care of them. And there's going to be another main block for the senior high school. in addition to the junior high school. That will also be 18 classrooms. 6 classrooms for the junior block, that will be 2 streams. And then the senior block will take 12 classrooms with a computer, with lab rooms. Like those who want to do science will have the science laboratory for the chemistry, the biology, and the physics. Yes. And then we have the nursery block, which is going to take creche, nursery 1, nursery 2, kindergarten 1 and 2, and then a small library for the minors so that they can just go there and play and have an idea of how a library works. And then on top of the nursery block, we're going to have library for the primaries, the JHS, and the SS. The top will be full of library books for the children. And we're going to have another block for, that will also be 3-story building, the kitchen, the cafeteria, and the store. The first floor will be the assembly hall, and then on top of the assembly hall, we have a conference hall. And we're going to have hostel facilities to have boarding school where people from outside the community or within Volta region or anywhere can come, stay, and study. And we have another area for future development where we'll have the vocational, be it carpentry, masonry, and whatever, for those who will not be that intelligent to be there, or those who want to be on their own at an early age. From JSS, you go to any of the vocational schools, have your training, and go to Polytechnic to continue. And we are hoping we'll get help from the entire world, especially US, where my friends are, to help us do this work. Because I, as a retiree, cannot do it alone. I have done a lot. I have taken loans and I have to be repaying with high interest rates, and it's really telling on me. I want to live long to see the fruits of my labor. So I need help from all corners to come and assist in kind, in the infrastructure, get the buildings put in place so that my dream, the focus that I have of making the school a model, become a reality. So we need buses, school buses, to pick the children. We need a lot of computers for the children, because I want to make computer literates out of the school. And if I can serve even the community to come and learn how to use the computers, fine. And the school, we're going to have bilingual center. We are teaching French as well as the English. So we want everybody who leaves this place to be bilingual. And that's what we are pursuing. So we'll have the audio screening where children are taught, like what we have in Alliance Français, where you are taught how to learn French with the screens, the pronunciation, and all that. We are looking for that in the school. So we have good proposal. We need the support of everybody.
Well, thank you, Veronica. This is just a marvelous story. And congratulations on what you've done. And we'll do everything we can to help you make your vision true.
Thank you.